questions, questions orales. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
On a toujours eu.
There have always been wars in the Middle East, and we can't control those things. But here, at home, we didn't have these problems. People would keep these problems at home. After 10 years of out-of-control liberal policies on the border, on law and order, they've allowed criminals, terrorists, and illegal weapons to enter this country. And criminals are on our street. Now there are shootings at synagogues, Iranian dissidents being killed, other shootings. 700 regime agents are here. What will the Prime Minister do to restore safety in this country? The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, the government deplores the shootings on synagogues in Toronto at the American consulate. This is one of the reasons why the government is vigilant with respect to terrorists. The Revolutionary Guard are registered as a terrorist entity.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
But the Liberal Prime Minister allows these terrorists to stay in the country, is not deporting them. We need to be safe here and affordable, have an affordable life. And before this war, the Prime Minister, this Liberal Prime Minister, delivered the worst food inflation in the G7. Inflation that has caused an increase in the cost of food higher than in other countries. It has to do with his own inflationary taxes and policies. Will he undo these inflationary taxes and policies so that Canadians can afford groceries? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, the government is taking action against the Revolutionary Guard Corps. There are 10,000 people who are disallowed from this country. We are taking action with respect to Canadians' spending power. We've reduced taxes for Canadians. We've increased benefits, food benefits. We have provided daycare to Canadian families.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
There have always been wars in the Middle East, but never before did those wars spill onto our streets here in Canada. But after 10 years of liberal immigration, liberal open borders, they have allowed criminals, terrorists, illegal guns to enter our country. After 10 years of liberal catch and release laws that the Prime Minister has not changed one word on, we have criminals released on our streets, and now our synagogues are being shot. Iranian dissidents killed on our streets, and there are 700 IRGC terrorist agents on our streets. What will the Prime Minister do to restore the safety that Canadians had before his Liberal government took office?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we got to go quick here. C-14 changes the bail laws. He might want to read it, definitely wants to support it. That member opposite has voted against every single gun control measure ever put before this House. This government has banned the Islamic Guard. This government's sanctioned over 200 individuals, over 200 Iranian entities. This government is investigating over 17,000 individual cases. We are protecting this country with 1,000 more RCMP, 1,000 more.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
What I voted against was a Liberal approach that has doubled gun crime by wasting billions going after duck hunters, farmers, and legal sport shooters. The Prime Minister is more worried about protecting turkeys from hunters than he is about protecting synagogues from terrorists, Mr. Speaker. That's the real problem. He's got 700 IRGC terrorists in this country. It doesn't matter if they're banned. If they're on our streets, they are a danger. They're shooting up synagogues, killing dissidents, and threatening our people. Will he reverse the Liberal agenda that unleashed this violence on our streets?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we, on this side of the House, we want to protect synagogues. We want to protect community centers. We want to protect places of worship, which is why C9 is before this House today. I challenge the member opposite to put his votes behind his words to protect the Jewish community, to protect communities of faith across this country.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, his solution to synagogues being shot up is to ban sections of the Jewish Torah. Mr. Speaker, that is not our solution on this side of the House. And that's according to his own immigration minister, his own heritage minister. We need to be safe at home. We need to be affordable at home. But even before this war broke out and raised gas prices, this Prime Minister doubled food price inflation and gave us the worst grocery price increases in all of the G7. So excuses about global impacts are not going to work. Will the Prime Minister reverse his new taxes on food, fuel, farmers, and fertilizer so Canadians can afford to eat?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that the member opposite read the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which protects the Torah, which protects the Bible, which protects freedom of expression. This House should not be otherwise informed by possible misrepresentation. We should follow the true word that protects all Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the question was about food prices. This Prime Minister said he would be judged by the prices at the grocery store. Since he took office, food price inflation has doubled. And this Prime Minister has introduced new taxes that increase the fuel prices of the farmers that feed us. Now, 2.2 million people are lined up at food banks and faced with even worse fuel costs today. So will the Prime Minister the Liberal Prime Minister reverse his latest Liberal tax so that Canadians can afford to eat?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it feels like Groundhog Day. I'm once again required to remind the member opposite that the impact of the industrial carbon tax on fuel prices is approximately zero. The impact, though, of our trade deals on the farmers in his constituency is absolutely enormous. It is almost planting season, and the farmers of Alberta, Battle River, Crowfoot can plant canola.
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Mr. Speaker, we have big news here in Parliament. Put on your Sunday best. If you look at the Prime Minister's circumnavigating the globe like Marco Polo, he seems to be his own Foreign Affairs Minister. Unfortunately, this minister is not being excessively clear. In fact, yesterday was an extraordinary opportunity for him to explain to Parliament, following his own invitation, what his own policies are. When will he explain his strategic vision for the Middle East? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Canada's policy is clear. Canada supports the necessity of preventing Iran's nuclear program and exporting of any terrorism. Canada is not participating in the offensive operations of Israel and the United States and will not, ever. The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. If it is clear, it will be news. Mr. Speaker, Canada is militarily a small player, and in the middle tranche and is the most isolated, and apparently no one seems to understand Canada's position. Has he spoken to our allies in Europe, and what have they agreed to as to a common position? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I just had a conversation with Mr. Macron, the president of the G7. I had a conversation with the Prime Minister of Japan. A meeting, in fact. I had a conversation with the President of the United States. Those are 3 members of the G7. I'm the 4th. I will be having a meeting with Mr. Starmer, 5. And then, Madame Meloni, yes, we will find a common agreement among the G7 countries. We will do that. And we will have a de-escalation. The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. I should have specified together with convergence, and I think we're going to make some major changes to geography for the U.S. to be part of Europe. Does the Prime Minister intend to propose any short-term measures to support those people who are directly suffering and will continue to further suffer from this war? I'm talking about inflation, buying power, retirees, access to property for young families. I'm referring, in fact, to all of these things that are not being solved or won't be solved in Norway over 5 years, but right now, right here, for citizens in Quebec and Canada. The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, the best option is de-escalation, is to have peace. That is the reason why I have conversations with other members of the G7, members of the Middle East, like Qatar, Oman, the UAE, the Prime Minister of Lebanon. And 4th point, we need to use the G7's oil reserves.